Greetings, citizens of Chima. This is RusticCastle, and welcome to a complete overview of my Chima collection. To kick things off then, starting at my just sheer insane amount of minifigs, I've got a total of 589 Chima minifigs, so just short of 600. I'm sure at some point it will reach 600, but in front of you there is most of them. You'll see a couple more throughout the video, but as many of you may know, the reason I've got so many tribes is because of the landscape that I'm doing. If you're not familiar with that, then go check some previous videos where I've got some landscape updates and showing off my mock. I will briefly look at it in this video just because it is part of my collection. But yeah, let's take a deeper look at what these minifigs are. Alright, so going over these minifigs then, we'll start on the left. As you can see, there is crocodiles, wolves and ravens. There is 3 separate tribe armies that I've built for part of this landscape that I'm working on. You can then, moving on, see a lot of the named characters for my landscape. So when I say named characters, I just mean that they're not like generic warriors, so like Laval, Krager, etc. In front, this is sort of like duplicates of the season 3 minifigs with all the ice hunters, the the vultures and the mammoths, and a bunch of firewing harnesses, as well as a couple more here. Then there is a bunch bagged up just because I don't have the base plates for them. There is a box of spare parts and a bunch more army soldiers, so lions and eagles. And then obviously there is a little Windsor here as well. The reason that's separated is because that's my first ever Chima set, so I just like to keep it separate. But there is, if I spin around here, a hell of a lot more minifigs. Now this is a display stand basically displaying each individual minifig from season 1 all the way through to season 3, apart from the ice hunters, because as you can see my shelf ends, so they wouldn't fit on. There's of course my sig fig, which eventually I would like to create like a Chima themed one as well. And then there's also the dimension figures here. So let's move on. Starting on this shelf then, seeing as that's where we were, I'll just get to the top. Right at the top, I've got my Outland vehicles, so Scorn Scorpion Stinger, Spiratus Spider Stalker, and Raptor's Bat Strike, or Wing Strike, or whatever the name is. Moving down, as I said, you'll see a few more minifigs throughout. There is Spinlin's Cavern with Rogon's Rhino Bike, and then there's also the Spider vehicle that comes in the Outland base. There's Rogon's Rock Flinger, of course, a bunch of Legend Beasts, and then Lavertus Outland base with the Legend Beasts inside, as you can see there. And once again, a bunch more minifigs, a few that I've made custom just to make them look slightly cooler, if I do say so myself. But yeah, that is the season 2 sort of section of my collection. Moving down in, you'll see the sort of theme of this shelf is like locations, like the location sets. So moving down from the season 2, we've got the season 1. Now of course this is the Croc Swamp Hideout, one of the nicest Chima sets I think. It's one of my favourites for sure, with, like I say, more minifigs that you can see around. Then there is the Eagle Castle, like it's the Speedo set, but you'll see I've taken the front bit off, and then I've sort of moved the Chi Crystal Tower back a bit, just so that it can display a bit nicer. And then, of course, you can't have the season 1 locations without the Lion Chi Temple, which, as you can see, only just fits on the shelf. And like I say, there's a few more lion minifigs dotted around, rather than his room, for example. And then moving down, you've got the minifigs that I've just showed you, and then we will get to the season 3 locations. So moving down to season 3 locations then, we obviously have the Phoenix Temple. Now you'll be able to tell that the gate isn't there, and also I've taken the tail off the back so that I can actually display it. I think it's probably the best way it can be displayed. Well, I mean, obviously not the best way, but for me anyway, it's the most ideal way for it to be displayed. And you've still, of course, got the Fire Chi sort of pool, if you will, or the Fire Chi holder, with, like I say, still a bunch more minifigs. Now moving on to the Ice Hunter locations, you'll be able to see that I actually display all my Ice Hunter figures here because, like I say, there was no room there, and these were just sort of the dupes. So that means every single Ice Hunter that has been released will be somewhere on either Sir Fangar's Ice Fortress or the Frozen Mammoth Stronghold. And then down here, there is the healed Sir Fangar. Now there's a couple custom ones, like, well, I say a couple, there's just one custom mammoth that I've just used the mungus head and the strainor body. But yeah, that is the season 3 locations in my collection. Moving down then from the locations, we'll start off with the Ice Hunter vehicles. Now you can see we'll start from the left. We have got the Mammoth Stomper, and then Sir Fangar's Sabertooth Walker, then the Sabertooth vehicle that comes in the Phoenix Temple. Then there is 2 of the Ice Bear mechs. There is Strainer's Sabertooth Cycle and Vardy's Glider. Now, of course, there is also another vehicle for the Ice Hunters, which is Vultrix's Sky Scavenger, but that will come when I show my sealed collection, because I've kept that sealed because it is quite a rare set, at least in the UK it is anyway. Moving down then to the very bottom of the shelf, as you can see, we have got the fire vehicles. Now, once again, we'll start on the left. We have got Kragger's fire vehicle, then Laval's fire vehicle. Now, you'll have to forgive me for the names because I am a bit rubbish at the season 3 fire vehicle names. I know that it's obviously Laval's Fire Lion. I'm not sure the Kragger's one. I'll put it on screen anyway. Then there is Bladvik's Rumble Bear. Then there is I want to say it's the Eagle Fire Flyer, something like that. Then there is Tormac's vehicle, Shadow Blazer, and then Flinx's Ultimate Phoenix set. Now that is everything for this shelf. I'll just stand up here so once again you can get a total view of the sheer awesomeness, if I do say so myself. Okay, so moving across from the shelf that we've just looked at then, we'll go under my landscape. As you can see here, we'll go under the desk to take a look at the few larger Chima vehicles. Now starting off, there is of course Warriors' Combat Lair, one of the best Season 1 vehicles in my opinion. Next to that is Kragger's Command Ship, one of the staples of the Chima theme, because honestly I think this set, when everyone thinks of Chima, this is one of the sets that they will definitely think of. Then there is the King Crominus Rescue. Sorry, it's a bit dark by the way, like I say, this is just under my desk. So we've got King Crominus Rescue, and then beyond desk leg, there is the Tiger Mobile Command. Now they are the larger vehicles in my collection, and that's why I'm displaying them on the desk, because the shelves up there aren't big enough to fit them on. And now underneath these vehicles is my sealed Chima collection, but I will get to that at the end. Oh, and just briefly as well, there is a bunch of Speedos backed up here. I'll take these out. As you can see, there is an absolute crap ton. But yeah, let's move on to the shelves in the sky. Right, starting on the end then, these are my Lion vehicles. Now we'll start off, we have got the 2 Royal Fighters. Next to the Royal Fighters, we move on to a bunch more Lion vehicles. We've got 2 Lennox Lion Attacks. We've got 2 of the Claw Bikes. Now I actually do have a few more of these in pieces at the moment, which eventually I will build up because I will want to use them on the landscape. Then there is Lavertus's Twin Blade and the 2 Lion jet skis, and that is all of the Lion vehicles on the shelf. Next to the Lions then, moving on, we have got the Eagles. Now we'll start off with Aquila's Ultra Strike, one of my favourite, if not my absolute favourite Chima sets, just because I just love the way it looks, and it's just the most different, I think. Like with the Eagles, obviously we've got a lot of different flyers, but it's nice to get a land vehicle for them. Once again, moving on, speaking of land vehicles, we've got Eagle's Twin Bike, which is an okay set. It's probably one of my least favourite sets, but of course it's in the collection, because what sort of collector would I be if I was missing a few sets? Then we have got 3 Eagle Interceptors. Now I do have this many because, once again, I would like to display one on my landscape once it is complete. And then as well, there is 2 small Eagle Jets that come in the Lion Temple. You can see there's the 3rd one there. Then, next to the Eagles, we have got 2 Gorilla Mechs and then 1 smaller Gorilla Mech from the polybag that came in the Season 2 waves. Nothing too much to say really, it is just Gorzan's Gorilla Striker twice and then a mini version. So let's move on to the shelf up above. Alright, up above then, we have got some Croc vehicles. This is 4 Crawley Claw Rippers. Now I've got 4 because yes, I'm very much obsessed with Chima. Please don't judge me. Next, we have got, in fact, before I show the wolf ones, there is also 3 of the crocodile vehicles that come in the Lion Chi temple as well, down here with Windsor, just because they didn't fit on here, which they probably will fit on here, but I didn't want to put them too far back because when you look at them from head height, you can only really see that. So, moving on to the wolves, we have got 3 pack trackers. Obviously you saw the combat layer earlier, but yeah, 3 pack trackers because once again, I'm obsessed, alright. Next, we've got ravens. These take up quite a lot of space because I've got a bunch of the smaller raven vehicles, but I've also got 2 Chi Raiders and then 4 Rascal gliders, and I think I do have maybe 1 more somewhere as well. And then right at the back there you can see the small vehicle that comes in Iglor's twin bike. So that almost sums up everything in my collection. Let's now take a look at my sealed sets. Before I go down to my sealed sets, I'll just show you a quick overview of the landscape if you haven't seen it already. I will eventually do another update on this, but I'm just waiting on more parts because I want to build this cliff face higher up, and then once I've got the parts, I will try to get that video out as soon as possible. But I'm just waiting to get paid basically so I can get more parts because Lego is expensive. So yeah, landscape update hopefully within the next, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks, alright? But it will, like I say, just be patient with me because it will happen eventually because I want to get this done as much as you guys want to see it be done. So yeah, let's take a look at my sealed sets. Very quickly as well, before I do get onto these sealed sets, I know, right, I'm an absolute stall artist, but here I am. There's just very quickly the Brickmaster Quest for the Chi book. Another book I also have is the Chima Encyclopedia with Fire Rocks, as you can see there, still sealed in it. And then as well, just a little bonus, I've also got a bunch of Speedo cards as well. So starting off my sealed collection, you can see here, this is every set, so 1 through 15 of the Season 1 Speedos releases. So the only ones that I don't have for Season 1 would be the sets that don't come in boxes like this, so the Eagle Castle and then the tournament, but I eventually will probably get them sealed because, like I say, I'm very much obsessed. So that is the first part of the sealed one. I won't go through them individually because I have done that on a separate video on the channel already, so definitely go back and take a look at that if you haven't already, but let's move on. Okay, next is just a sealed Rogon's Rock Flinger, just because I found it for a very cheap price. It was literally 15 quid, so I picked it up because, like you guys probably know, Lego doesn't really lose its value, especially when it's sealed. So I thought, why not pick it up and keep it as part of their sealed collection. So next, as promised, here is Vultrix's Sky Scavenger. Like I say, I don't have one opened, but I do have this one sealed because it is a pretty rare set. I managed to get this one from France. It was fairly expensive. I think I ended up getting it for like 70 quid, which is quite a lot, but it is probably one of the rarer Chima sets. So apart from like Fire Chi Lavertus and then Healed Sir Fangar, it is one of the more rare sets in my collection. So let's move on to the next Season 3 sealed set. And as if by magic, a new set has spawned in. Now obviously, as you can see, this is Sir Fangar's Ice Fortress. Once again, a really, really fun one to have in my sealed collection. You know, you can call me a nerd if you like. There's something about having sealed sets that just really satisfies me. But yeah, there's not too much to say. Obviously, you've seen the actual build over here. But yeah, like I say, another part of a sealed collection would never hurt anyone. So yeah, let's now take a look at what should we go for next. Let's go for the big boy. Let's do the big one. Okay, right, here it is, the big one as I called it. This is just a super pack, so a 3-in-1 of the Eagle Interceptor, Crawley's Claw Ripper, and then Rascal's Glider. Now, like you've already seen, I already have 3 Interceptors, 4 Claw Rippers, and 4 Gliders, but I'll keep saying it, sealed sets are cool, man. That's just how it is. And obviously this 3-in-1 pack is pretty rare. I mean, I'm not going to keep saying all the things I own is rare, because, you know, I'm not just, you know, bigging my collection up. But yeah, I'm pretty proud to have this one. Fairly cheap as well. I think I got it for 40 quid. So I'm hoping eventually, you know, when I die, it'll be worth a bit more. But let's be honest, I'm not going to die with this Chima collection. So get into the game, man. And finally, moving on to then the final big box in my sealed collection. This is Gorzan's Gorilla Striker, and of course you'll have seen I already have two, but I couldn't pass upon this opportunity. This seller on eBay clearly didn't actually know the value of his Lego, and he had like an 80% deal off or something, so how could I refuse? I mean, the box isn't exactly like mint condition, like there's a few little marks here and there, but at the end of the day, the Lego's still inside in brand new condition. So another one that once again is pretty awesome to have. Okay, so starting with the Season 2 sealed Speedo sets, as you can see this is nearly all 5 of them. The one I'm missing is the Shadow Wind set, I believe is it Stinger Jewel, I believe it's called, but that seemingly is a rare one and I'm still struggling to find that sealed. Now I have found it used, but I'm strange on wanting it sealed, so I'm going to have to wait for that. But yeah, we've got the Web Dash, we have got Sky Launch, we have got Bat Strike, and then we have got Banana Bash. So that is the Season 2 sealed Speedo sets. Let's have a look at Season 3. Alright, so the Season 3 ones, once again, this is 4 out of 5. I'm missing Fire Visa's Ice with the one that comes with Laval and Sir Fangar, because much similar to the other one, it's quite hard to find not used. There's a fair few that I found used, but I'm struggling to find it sealed. But for these 4, we have got Flaming Claws, Inferno Pits, Scorching Blades, and Frozen Spikes. So that is everything. Wow, I've actually done it. I've managed to get through everything. That is everything in my Chima collection. Alright then guys, that brings it to the end of my full collection overview. I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you find it somewhat impressive, because at the end of the day, my collection is better than yours. Okay, for legal reasons, that's a joke. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to join the Discord down below. We really are trying to grow this Chima community, and now with it possibly coming back in Dragons Rising, we hope to introduce a lot more new fans to the Chima community. So don't forget to subscribe to check out more videos by us lot here at the Chi Markets. So thank you very much for watching, and stay legendary.